Hi, welcome to instructions video for Poker Texas game on Steam. The link to the game is given below. So you can start the game by clicking the icon or in your Steam client, press play, which will start a console. Do not close this console, this is your server running, and we should get the address to which other players can connect. So this is the address which should open automatically in your browser. If this doesn't open or you want a different browser, copy this from your console and type it into the browser. We need to name our casino. It cannot be blank and it cannot contain special characters. And after we got the address, you will get the full address to your casino, and now you can copy this and send to other players so they can connect. If you send it to someone else, if he opens the browser, he will see the same screen. You have to choose the username and the password. Password can be nothing. This is only used if your connection breaks and you come back, so you can come to the table with your chips. Of course, if the computer reboots and you are the one running the server, then everything is over. But for other users who are remote, they only need this to connect. And when they log in, now we don't have any tables defined, so anyone can create a new table, as we will do in a second. So this password is not recorded anywhere except in this server memory, and with this shutdown, everything is forgotten. So it's not valid for the next game when you start a server. So let's create a table. You need to name your table, and you can change all the other parameters. I'll leave mostly default. They are explained in detail in a PDF, to which link is given below. If you hover your mouse, you will see explanations here, and I will turn on only multiple runs here, and I will give host 60 seconds to decide what happens if we have multiple runs, and we will leave time to call time, not next time. You will see in a second what it does. If I press OK now and in Windows, I will be taken automatically to that table under that username. And now you can see in a tab, you will see the username and the table name. And you can choose where you sit. You will always be shown here no matter where you sit. So John is seated here, and let's say other player is Ben. He chooses some password. Now he will see already the table, and he can join that table. And he can also choose his seat. Let's say Ben wants to sit here. You will always be shown here. That is your player. So now we have two players, and we can start a game because we have two players and each player has more than one big blind. To start the game, we just press start game. But before that, let me tell you something about what we see here. We see that John has H, which means he's a host. He can see here. You can put full screen here. And we can choose options, colors, card colors, background colors, and the table. You can choose to sit out, confirm every decision, confirm only defaults, 4-color deck, warning sound, not losing hand, and that's basically it. You can stand only when the hand is not in progress, and then you can reseat yourself. You can press leave, which will make you leave the table. There's a chat. This is the hands history or the chat. This is request chips. So when you request chips, let's say Ben wants 20 more chips, this gets as a host request, so host has to approve the request. For that, there is a cycle scene which takes you to the host scene, which is the red one. So now you can see player Ben wants 20 chips, and let's say we allow for that, so Ben will get 20 chips. You can see here player buy-ins, stacks, and profits. And this scene, every player has this scene, only the host has additional buttons. He can fold players, use this very cautiously, and he can make other player host. He can also honk to other players, as you can see. If Ben does this, cycle scene, Ben can only honk to John, but he doesn't have other host options. So he can make Ben a host. If John gets disconnected, new host will be generated automatically. It's host migration. So let's start a hand. we have the blinds. John has a 4-color deck. Ben calls. Now we can slide to adjust, press all in. We can press +10. This is minimal chips, or +1 minimal chip. Also, this is equivalent to arrow up +10. This is arrow down -10. This is arrow right on a keyboard and arrow left. So you can easily adjust the value. You cannot type it in. Let's say we want to raise with Jack 7. Ben calls. And now we get to the flop. So John time is running out, and after it runs out, everybody on the table, even the ones that are not seated, will get the call time button. So let's wait for that. I want to show you. The green shows the connection. If it gets disconnected, this will be unplugged and it will be red. There is a dealer button. Small blind, big blind is marked. And now we see John time is out, but it's call time. So let's say Ben wants to call time on John. You need to confirm. And now John see his time has been called, and now he has additional time, after which it will be fold if he doesn't even make a check. So let's make check. Ben can also make check. Okay. Let's say we bet 1/2 of the pot. And then calls. And now Ben has a straight. But let's play it this way. I will check. So Ben can bet. As a last aggressor, he's the first one showing the cards. So John cards will be hidden because he has muck losing hand. He calls and his cards are not shown. He can choose to reveal hand, and then Ben will be able to see his card. So that's how it works. And now advanced topic, I will make multiple runs to see how it works. We start a new hand. Let's say what Ben has. Okay. Let's say that John calls and Ben for some reason wants to go all in. And now John decides to call. So we have a situation that there are multiple runs possible, and players have to arrange how many runs they want, and host has to confirm it in a host scene. So we go cycle scene, and now you've seen that this is a pot, so we can have 1, 2, 3, or 4 runs. So let's go with 4. It can happen that there is another player in the pot with different amount of chips. Then there will be another side pot, and you can decide for each one of those. And if more players are in hand and some other players go all in on a flop or on a turn, you will get additional choices. So let's say we confirm side pots, like let's take 3 runs. Confirm, and you have to confirm again. So what happens now, we will have 3 pre-flop runs. So the first run is obviously Queen 3, Jack, Jack 4. Ben wins that, but the second 2 runs are only printed, and John wins the other 2. So that's how you do multiple runs. It's much more fun with a third player, so let's maybe try add additional player. Let's say Patrick joins as well, and he wants to sit here, and we start a new hand. Now let's say, oh, okay. It doesn't really matter, but I'll push. Let's say Ben pushes all in, then Patrick re-raises all in. He can only call, but let's say he re-raises all in. So now John can call both. And now, if we do the multiple runs, The first spot is all 3 players, so let's say we run 2 times for that, and then we run 3 times for this. We confirm the side pots, and you can see how it goes now. So we can see John win all the pots. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's say that Patrick requests 100 chips and Ben requests 100 chips. So the host has to prove that. Let's say Ben wants additional 100 chips. Yeah, that was the idea. Then host allows for that. So now we have different amount of chips. You will get chips only when the hand is not in progress. So let's make more interesting situation. Let's make a situation in which first pre-flop, the Patrick will go all in for 100. John and Ben will only call. You can turn off the warning sound or you can silence it. So now for the pre-flop, Patrick and others have to decide how many runs they want to do pre-flop. Let's say pre-flop we want 3 runs. But now, on a flop, the other 2 players are still in a game. And let's say now Ben decides to go all in. With quads, it's not that bad. And let's say Patrick decides to call. And now let's say they can decide for turn and river to play, let's say, 3 times. Even though with quads there is not much chance for John, but still we confirm the side pots. So we have pre-flop 3 times, side pot runs 3 times, or let's say 2 times. Okay. We confirm. So what happens now, we have the first run, and you can see this is the pre-flop runs 3 times, but also we have then flop runs, which is 3 kings, and then 6 and 3, 9 and ace. Of course, 6 and 3 are the same in the first flop run, pre-flop run, and the same flop run, and you can see how it developed. So basically, in the first pre-flop runs, we have Ben, Patrick, and Ben winning, and then flop 0 and flop 1 is the other 2 runs. So that's a bit more complex topic, but basically that's how you reuse multiple runs. You can always check cycle scene, what is here, and everything that is going on. Here there is not much printed, but if you go to Steam, where is your game, and you go here and then manage and browse local files, it opens this screen. So you will see there is a log file with the table name and log file hands with a table name. Log file is not that interesting. It's literally lots of debugging information. But the hands file is much more interesting because you have every hand, how it was played, and at the end of every hand you have exactly how much money the players have and how much buy-ins did they make. So you can use it for tracking the hands and analyzing the game. And that's pretty much it. Once you are done with as a player, press leave so that you don't remain on the table. Ben can also choose leave. And Patrick can choose leave. And now you can see at the list of the tables there are 0 players, so you can join. And to stop the game, just close the console, which will shut down the game in Steam as well. It might take a few seconds that this stops turns into a play, but that's basically how you shut down the game.